Yeah, it's interesting times. I mean, certainly our world is in a different place. I would definitely agree that a shift has happened, right? And we can't run from the realities, the pandemics. The pandemic of the coronavirus, but also the pandemic of racism that is being overtly challenged, explicitly challenged. I think the reality is that many people are struggling with, like, where do they fit? How do they navigate it? And so for me, as someone who has studied these issues, for many, many years before it became vogue and popular, I recognize that we all do have a role to play, but part of that is also understanding, the realities that we see, the systematic oppression and what that actually means historically and contemporarily. So I would say, to any person who's trying to figure out where they fit, it's a journey. So for me, many people saw me on Fox News giving commentary. That was a moment, but it was really a preparation of a lifetime for that moment. I have a new book, Campus Uprisings, that really helped to open that door. But the conversation shifted once I got there. In fact, I got a call from my publicist and was like, listen, the limo is picking you up in 2 hours, be ready. So I had to shift from a major meeting to now get in a limo and prepare, to have a conversation. And I didn't necessarily even know how the conversation was gonna go. I mean, I knew I'll be talking with Martha McCallum. I knew that there was gonna be another panelist on or guest on. The reality is, in that moment, it was a coming together of a lifetime of preparation, of listening, of studying, of speaking, of communicating, of nuance, of knowing when to listen and when to speak. What most people don't know is that I could only hear the conversation. I literally couldn't see Martha. I literally couldn't see the other panelists. I couldn't see the B-roll that was going out. I was literally looking into one camera and having to hear the entire conversation in my ear and know when to speak if invited, or to wait for a pause where I can communicate a message and also try to stay on message as you also had different perspectives being shared all at the same time. So it was a really interesting experience. And here's the question, why does it matter? Well, because in the midst of all that's going on in our world, right, there is a shift that's happening, but I believe every single person has gifts, has talents. And so for me, as a kid who talked too much in school, right, who got in trouble for talking, as a person, sometimes my wife would say, listen, you're always on the phone, or, I'm on a prayer line with Man in the morning every single day. Those moments, the 10,000 hours of preparation in those moments allowed me to be ready when Fox News called and they needed somebody to offer a perspective that will clarify, not just the reality that Black Lives Matter, but the reality that these issues are complex, but there's also clarity around the fact that each of us have a role to play. And so my role that day was to be a voice for truth. And, a lot of people question, if you speak truth, are you a troublemaker? No, I'm a truth teller. I'm a truth teller. And the only people who have trouble with truth telling are people who don't like the truth. And so I believe the truth will set us free. And the shift is taking place right now. I believe it's necessary because truth is prevailing.